Hey everyone, what's going on? Just Shay, my brother and I were sitting around just thinking about stuff and our births and what we came out of, where we came from, our families, our dads, our mothers. Um, only one dad, only one mom, right? And you must honor them. But anyways, so what's this picture, right? That I put up in front of you? Well, turns out I was doing some research on Project Paperclip. Well, I wasn't. My brother was, and he stumbled across the fact that a lot of these doctors went to these research people and engineers and scientists and whatnot went to Fort Bliss after the war, and that's where they did a lot of engineering. And I guess there's some conspiracies about the MK Ultra program here being developed at Fort Bliss, and turns out that's where I was born. I was born at William Beaumont, and it was the year of the dragon. And I just wonder, what on earth is going on in these medical places. I don't, I have an imagination, and I think of genetic tampering. I think of maybe, I think of like that Final Fantasy game 7 where they were injecting people with Genova ancient cells in their blood, and I just think about King Yu and his blood, and what did they find something? There's some type of blood. Are they injecting people and making hybrids here? Because I remember my childhood and how I was growing up, and how I was lucid dreaming. I think I definitely had some type of psychic ability. I could read people's minds. I would never lose at rock paper scissors, and all of a sudden, as soon as I turned, I think it was like 9 or 10, I started getting intense headaches, and the migraine. I was getting intense migraines. I actually had to see a chiropractor for it. They were saying that the way I was standing was improper, my posture was wrong, but so it was really affecting me. I kept getting pink eye, and I was just generally under assault in my youth. My body was always just under attack, and I ended up getting scarring on my right eye, and I also read like some Bible quote about not seeing out of your right eye and all this. I don't remember now. I can't remember what the quote was, but I digress. But so I just wonder, all these children born in these military bases, is there some type of program going on where they're affecting their metaphysical life, or are they? I don't know. What are they doing with these babies? I guess at these medical facilities where they have these secret programs. MK Ultra was definitely a secret program. Not many people knew about it. It was confidential. So I'm not against anything. I just, it'd be nice to maybe be informed a little bit so I can just fucking move on. You know what I mean? And the government does shady shit. I mean, the Nazis, they were after all the artifacts. They were after all the mysteries. They were after the art. So, and I'm a direct line of those people who were defeated. So I'm defeated. I'm living in your world. So why the fuck would I care about it? And here's some calculations I was doing. KJS Fort Bliss 160. You guys can look up the results. I don't need to share them. So I'm going to go full autistic here and just say I really do think that the MK Ultra program is definitely in tune with ancient stories, the same way Hitler was, and trying to figure out the Earth's mysteries, such as talking to birds and just ways to reconnect with the Earth. And Final Fantasy VII was all about this. I played it extensively. It was my favorite game growing up. Next to Silent Hill, believe it or not. And it's Japanese games. And this story is about Genova, who was an extraterrestrial life form and invaded the Earth about 2,000 years ago, and it was like a dual gender thing, the Destroyer. The Baphomet. So in this game, you realize that I'll just read this. This is what we'll do. Here's a story. If you've never played the game and you really want to, which I doubt you'd want to, I mean, I'm just using it for, it's an idea. This is an idea. Where do people get these ideas from? I really do feel like it's all global. It's a global test. But here we go. Approximately 2,000 years ago, an alien creature landed on Gaia, having traveled through space on a meteorite, created the North Crater. The creature approached the Cetra. The Cetra. Here's the Cetra. This is very interesting. The Cetra, also known as the Ancients, are a race of people mentioned frequently in Final Fantasy VII. Although few Ancients are actually depicted, the Cetra took identical to regular humans, but are deeply spiritual. Deeply spiritual. According to Sephiroth, regular humans were former Cetra, who forsook their migratory nature to form permanent settlements millennia ago. They are the ancient civilization. The migrations of Cetra were a planet-reverent pursuit of the fabled Promised Land, conducted by traveling and cultivating life. The Cetra could commune with the planet. That's what the Druids were doing. They were in touch with the natural human residents of the Earth, and they knew its cycles. They knew how to speak to it. That's exactly what the Avatar movie was showing. An ability regular humans lost once they gave up their close relationship with the planet in favor of leisure and convenience. The Cetra could guide the flow of the planet's spiritual energy, this being the means by which they cultivated life on the planet's surface. And that's what all these megaliths were. They were cultivating the electronic resonance that exists naturally, and Tesla even had an inkling and a whereabouts of this. Cetra are said to have opened up life stream veins to make their land fertile. Planet's caretakers until the race was nearly reduced to extinction by an extraterrestrial shape-shifting entity. The alien arrived on the planet some 2,000 years before the events of Final Fantasy VII. Crash landing on the northern continent within a meteorite. The impact site became a massive crater that became known as the North Crater, a wound to the planet that would not be healed for thousands of years. Once the alien emerged from the impact site and approached the Cetra settlements, it gleaned their memories and emotions and adopted the forms of their dead relatives to get close to them. The alien released a virus upon the Cetra, a substance that drove the Cetra mad and transferred them into monsters. A small band of unchanged Cetra mounted a final assault on the being they referred to as a calamity from the skies, sealing its body at the alien's point of arrival. 2,000 years later, the alien would be excavated by the Shinra Power Company. Cetra would be named Genova, G-E Nova, Earth Nova. I mean, Nova's used in that one comic too with the... what's that? Alita the Battle Angel. If I'll know. Mother of Ares. Oh, this feels so real. The act of returning to the promised land Ares also speaks of is an allusion to return to the life stream, it being the promised land of the Cetra.